Alright, how you guys doing? I don't know what your answer's gonna be, but I'm doing pretty good today, honestly. And
I'm doing pretty good.
well, that's good, because today we got an excellent new tool to review.
Great.
You see it?
Looks good.
It is pretty excellent because it's the Sword of God Toma-Knife-Hawk. Say that 5 times fast. We got our Sword of God Toma-Knife-Hawk right here, and we're gonna do what we do with every single one of our reviews, and start it at the bottom. Starting at the bottom, we've got a rib handle, good for keeping a grip and also for your pleasure. Other than that, the handle's pretty bland until you get up to right here. It has a little black thing wrapped around it. I'm not really sure what that's for. I haven't seen the purpose yet, but right here we got 2 bolts. Most people think that the bolts would be useful for holding the head of the Toma-Knife-Hawk onto the handle, right? That's what you would think it would be useful for?
I assumed.
Well, no, that's not what it is. The bolts are here to keep you grounded to earth. Keep you really attached to your soul whenever you're in the struggle of the wilderness.
That's what that's for.
That's exactly what it's for. Let's get back to the review. So, yeah, that's pretty much, covers your whole bottom handle and covers everything else like that. Alright, so that was pretty much it for the handle, but we're going to move up to the head where, most of the action, most of the important stuff happens. All the important stuff happens around your head. Anyway, it's a pretty simple beast up here. In the back side, you got a very aggressive triangular shape. It's pretty sharp that you can use to do several things like puncture a victim, or maybe if you're in a bind, you can use it as a pickaxe. Even though it's not an axe, it's a Toma-Knife-Hawk, but you can use it as a pickaxe. It's very confusing, but just quit being smart. So that's pretty much the back end of this bad boy. Now, obviously, the front end is much better. Well, that's under some other people's opinions.
It's objective.
Yeah, it's very. Some people like the back end, I guess. But we go to the middle part, and right here, you can see it's kind of has like a little bit of a diamond pattern. Well, that's real good because you can use it to tenderize your meat. Yeah. I use it to, whenever I catch an animal on a snare and I'm out in the wilderness alone, and I use it to beat it, beat my meat so I can eat it. That's what I use it for. It's pretty solid. So, once you get past the meat beater, you can move up finally to the edge. Now, this is a Toma-Knife-Hawk, so you have to think this edge must be able to use for multiple things. One, you can use it as a knife, so you can chop through things, or slice through things. That's what you use a knife for. Is you slice through things, you can mince, dice, whatever you need to do. You can even replace this with your knives in your culinary kitchen. It can be used for culinary purposes like mincing, dicing, and chopping, but like knife chopping, food chopping, not like axe chopping. That's very different because that's the next feature we're going to talk about. So, like I was saying before, culinary purposes in chopping. The chopping is really important, because it's a Toma-Knife-Hawk. That's like 2/3 of the name is a tomahawk, which is an axe, which is chopping. So, for wood on the ground, you can put it on the ground and you can chop. Or, there's a tree, which is just wood attached to the ground with some leaves on top. You can chop that as well. You just have to go from a side, you gotta cut it instead of chop it.
Horizontal.
I learned that from baseball.
Vertical. Okay.
Those are really the main uses of this thing. There is another feature to it, as with all knives that get reviewed on this show, is at the bottom of the handle, there is a magnifying glass. Now, it's very small, but, I like losing my screws and finding them, so it's really useful for that. But, what other knives don't have that this does, is when I lose my car at Walmart, all I have to do is whip this bad boy out, and right here, I've got binoculars. So, you're real close, and?
Wow.
Yep, it's pretty neat. Now, there are some negative things to this, like if you're chopping and you chop it like right here, you can impale yourself on your return, impale, and then you go for a chop, and then now you got a second chest wound. But that's one of the main. And then here's another one is it ain't very balanced. Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It ain't very balanced, so I guess don't try to balance it on your finger. But other than that, it's a pretty great product. You have any concerns about the product?
Yeah, it does share a name with a different tool. Oh, very similar, easily confused.
Well, this is the Toma-Knife-Hawk. What's the other thing?
The Toma-Knife drum, similar but different.
I can see how they're different. That's a musical instrument, and this is a blade. I'm not sure how people can get that confused.
Well, easily confused.
Okay, well, you know, I think that's pretty much a wrap for Knives and Friends. You know, we reviewed this great product, and you know, I definitely suggest grabbing it. And you know, I got somewhere to be actually, so I'm gonna have Ann do the outro for this.
You sure?
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Well, thanks for watching. Watch the next one.